Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Join me, my co-host, Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Joseph.
Yellow.
And Jehu.
Nice peppy intro there.
Thanks. I try to keep it, exciting. Here to talk about Pensacon 2020. We were there. We did some shit. We talked to some people. Who wants to go first? What do we want to talk about? How was the order of this? What the fuck is our
right
plan?
in.
Yeah.
We'll talk about you moderating the panel. I thought that was cool.
I did moderate a panel, which was interesting. We teamed up with a few local YouTubers. I was invited by Brendan Beckwith, who we interviewed last year at the con, to moderate. It was a good time. They talked about creating YouTube channels. Something that is extremely intimidating to me, but they made it seem very doable.
I thought it was interesting. I thought you did a good job flowing through the questions, and I thought it was pretty... They
had a really good turnout. I had a lot of people there for that.
And there was a bunch of different YouTube people. So there was 3 separate YouTube channels, so it kind of had different perspectives.
Brennan does Marvel films. A guy named Holden. Holden does just whatever he wants, essentially.
Yeah, he's the one who done stuff on the best taco in Pensacola.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's done Pensacola.
Wait, what's the best taco in Pensacola?
Joseph, you would know this.
There is a Mexican restaurant / grocery store at the corner of 29 and 9 Mile.
Right.
That's what he says is the best.
I know where that is.
Yeah. There was another guy, I can't remember his name, who does self-help, health, fitness videos.
Matt. I think his name was Matt.
He looks like a Matt, for sure.
That's a good guess.
And then I think another guy whose name was also Christian. Maybe I'm misremembering that. He does gamer videos, and that dude records every single day, and that seems really
intimidating.
But it was a good time. I enjoyed it. It was nice hanging out with those dudes.
So yeah, I guess we should talk about the fact that this is the 7th year of Pensacon.
7th year, yeah.
But it's one of the things I really like about this convention is the whole town really gets into it. Mm-hmm. So I mean the actual con takes place mostly at the Civic Center and a couple of specific venues around Pensacola. But I mean, every year the Fish House has a Star Wars theme, has a Harry Potter theme, has a Star Trek and Star Wars. Yeah, that's right. What was it? Odd Colony was Stranger Things themed, had 80s themed drinks, had the Christmas lights with the alphabet on the wall. Perfect Plane was Labyrinth.
Yep, very specific.
Very specific. They drew Andrew Jackson's wife's face as David Bowie, and it was very jarring.
Yep,
it was like a David Bowie who really let himself go.
Rick and Morty, Tin Cow,
yeah.
Rick and Morty, yeah. What's the burger joke? Big Top. They were Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, it is really cool how all of downtown gets into it. I think because we live in a tourist spot that, injecting $3 million of capital in the middle of February is good for our local economy.
For sure.
So everyone tries to get a little piece of that pie.
For sure.
But it makes for a fun experience.
It does, yeah. I think I enjoyed some of the specific panels and things that we got to see and going to the actual convention center. But I feel like a bulk of the experience is how kind of immersive it is. Everywhere you go is kind of into it,
and everyone's dressed up.
Yes,
a lot of
great cosplay,
costumes, and everyone gets into that, so it kind of immerses you into it a little bit.
I went to gallery night this year, and which is not something I had done in the past, and it is crazy down there on gallery night. Yeah, I mean, people are still in their cosplay from all day, and every restaurant is packed, and there's karaoke in the middle of the street. I mean, it's happening. Pensacon gallery night. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I would say, what about I'll tell you what was disappointing.
I knew I was just about to get here.
Dude, okay, so I didn't go Friday, gallery night. I came up Saturday, I had to work Friday, and the only panel I was really excited about was 11 a.m., on Saturday, Terminator 2 question and answer with Ed Furlong. Furlong? Doesn't matter. Forget him. Anyway, so we get there at 10:40, a little early, and not that packed, and we're all just catching up talking. 11 o'clock, the host comes out, and he's like, just hang tight. We're gonna get started. Here's the emergency exits. All good to go. 11:10, I start looking at my phone. I'm like, usually these things aren't late. And he comes out, he says, well, Ed is dodging Terminators, and he's running a little late, but he'll be here soon. 11:20, the guy comes out and says, okay, Ed's not coming. We're going to start this thing without him. Uh-huh. And we spend the next
10 minutes?
10 minutes
talking to the B guest, which is somebody I don't even know his name.
He's
the kid that rides on the bike.
He's John Connor's friend from the arcade in Terminator who has like 3 scenes.
And the host had prepared no questions for this guest, completely, rightfully assuming he's going to talk to, Ed Furlong, who's been in the whole movie. So this thing goes off the rails quick.
Yep.
Super awkward. A lot of dead air. The host is very nervous and very
obviously nervous.
Yeah, not liking it, being up there unprepared. And like Joseph put it, it started 20 minutes late. It ended 10 minutes early.
Yep.
So yeah, it kind of put a dour note, and Ed never showed up. So I hope they don't pay him.
Yeah, I don't think that was... I don't know the story. I'm assuming... I'm going to go on a limb and say that wasn't Pensacon's fault. I think Edward Furlong got lost
100%. This is not Pensacon. This is Ed Furlong.
It was super disappointing, though.
Yeah. Well, like you said, not Pensacon's fault, but Ed Furlong, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Ed Furlong.
He made me retroactively like T2 a little bit less. But
wow.
I could never like T2 less. Yeah.
I did go to this thing on Friday, I think, that was involved 3 guests, and they each had to choose a cult movie they liked. And the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I think there is some confusion on what a cult movie is, or exactly what classifies as being, in need of defense.
It seems like some small movie podcast should make a criteria description of what makes a cult movie.
Yes. One dude chose Colossal, which I get that a lot of people haven't seen.
That's not a fucking
But it's
cult.
not a cult movie.
It's a small movie.
That's a movie no one's ever seen.
Yeah, it's a good movie that you could go on Hulu right now and watch. And
being independent doesn't necessarily make something cult.
Yeah.
Somebody chose The Nice Guys, which I get wasn't like a huge box office success, but is very popular.
And it wasn't a failure. It made about as much money as Will Ferrell movies make now.
Not the other guys. The other guys. I'm mistaken. Not the
Which
Nice
one's
Guys.
the other guy?
No, you're talking about the...
I'm talking about the Russell Crowe one.
Yeah, no, that is the Nice
Okay,
Guys.
I would maybe get... Okay, I was mixed up. I might get that a cult movie one. I might think they're right about
I just think when you give a Shane Black $100 million movie starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, that doesn't feel like
I just don't think it found its audience at the time and has since found one.
And what's funny,
I would give Kiss Kiss Bang Bang cult status. I don't know.
I would agree there.
I'm not giving it to Nice Guys.
I don't think
I almost actually when we did our cult, when I almost did Nice Guys, we just were running out of time. So I'm with this guy on that one.
The last dude, who's Jonah Ray, and I'm a Jonah Ray fan, so maybe this is why I defend him, chose Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call.
Yeah, that counts.
That like if you want to explain to someone what a cult movie means, just show them that shit.
And that I was like, okay, this is the only right answer. But
there is so much, like every aspect that it may be the cult perfect Voltron of cult film.
Yeah, there's iguanas or imaginary iguanas are main characters in that movie. But that was interesting. I mean, it was cool to see the guests all have opportunities to talk about these movies they like, whether I disagree if they really met the standard of what they were supposed to do or not. But I went see anything else on Friday. I know I was the only one there.
Lou Ferrigno? Did you go to Lou Ferrigno?
I did not go to Lou Ferrigno. A lot of shit happened Friday while I was at work. Keith David.
They had a weird amount of good stuff on Friday. I'm not gonna be on her.
Shout out to Reagan Bell, who helped us all weekend. Reagan was there on Friday. I should have asked him before I came what he went to and he liked, but I did not.
That's fine.
He went to a Ladies of Star Wars panel, I think, and he said that was pretty good. But that's it. That's the only thing I remember.
What about you? Next year we should do Ladies of Star Wars.
Yeah, that would be fun. Us, the four of us.
I was going to say, is that our topic?
Yeah, that'll be our topic. Well, I didn't show up till Sunday.
Midday Sunday,
and I really appreciate that when I told you guys I was sick, you guys were like, whatever, fuck it. I know y'all didn't believe me, but you just like, yeah, that's how her it is. I was actually sick, but sure.
We believe you.
So I didn't really actually see a lot. I didn't do a lot of panels. I mostly just did our panels.
Weird Al though.
Well, I was gonna say. I wasn't there for the Weird Al panel, but I did accidentally meet
I
Weird
forgot
Al.
about this. Yeah.
So like I said, I got there midday, and Sarah got there after I did, so I had to go back out, and we came back in. So you guys were already off doing another thing with like a band or something, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'm going to go down on the vendor floor and try to, buy me some comics, because that's what I care about with cons, which is a part of cons that's just shrinking and shrinking. It is a fucking bloodbath on the floor. Like, it is just, like just so much going on, and once you get in, it's hard to figure out how to get out. Which maybe not for everybody, but I'm like blind and I don't pay attention to things. So anyways, it took us. I got some comics. We got out of there, and there's like, man, let's just go find a quiet place to chill for a second. So we're kind of walking around, and we go into this hallway that we go. Actually, it was weird. We went up a set of stairs, and we went up another set of stairs. And we came back down a set of stairs, and we got caught in this like loop almost. It's like, well, let's go through this door since we're caught in this loop. So we go in there, and we kind of go down to the end of the hallway where nothing is going on. But there is a big wall with a bunch of pictures of Weird Al. And that probably should have been a clue. So we're standing there and we're just talking, and we're like, how long before we go to the panel and stuff like that. And this, semi-handsome dude with long hair and a beard came up to us, and he was like, so, you guys don't have to be shy. You can just walk up and do it. And I was like, what is going on here? Is this guy proposing like a threesome or something? What the fuck is happening here? It was like, I did not know what was going on. And it was like, and then he was like, you don't have to get a picture taken with him. You can just meet him. And then we realize in this little cubicle over here, it's just fucking Weird Al. And he set up there for people to meet, and I guess nobody fucking knew about it because there's nobody there. So, we were like, and it was like $30 to get a autograph, $40 for a selfie. He's like, but you can just go in there and meet him. So we stood there for a few more minutes, and she was like, well, do you have anything to say to Weird Al? And I was like, funny enough, I do have a thing to say to Weird Al. So we go in there, and, he's totally just sitting there, and he's totally a nice dude. Sarah talked to him about being a vegan because he had ate at End of the Line while he was in town, said it was really great. So shout out to End of the Line. And so first of all, are you guys aware of Ray Stevens? Not Ray Stevens' son, Ray Stevens.
No.
Sounds familiar.
I felt like Christian would have known if anyone did. Okay, in the 80s, there was a different funny singer guy. But he had like a country leaning. And his name was Ray Stevens. And probably in most parts of America, people don't even know about him. In Florida, he was a big fucking deal. So, first of all, I've always had a theory that there was a searing anger beneath Weird Al's exterior that I just want a glimpse of. Second of all, I wanted to know what he thought of Ray Stevens. Because Ray Stevens, he didn't do parody songs, but he did do comedy songs. At roughly, he had his peak at roughly the same time that Weird Al was really breaking big with like Eat It and shit like that. So, Sarah asks him about the vegan stuff. And like I said, he's really cool about that and stuff. So she was like, you got something to say? It's like, yeah, man, I've always wanted to know. Was there a rivalry between you and Ray Stevens? And he was like, and I wasn't even sure if he was really super aware of it. Because like I said, I think it's more of a Southern thing. And when you always see these guys, when you always see Weird Al, he's always super, like politically correct. He's always he's always very diplomatic. Yeah. So he was like, oh no, I think, we were doing a similar thing, but I appreciated what he was doing, and there was enough room for everybody. So I didn't really get what I wanted from that. But then I was like, Weird Al was also on this episode of 30 Rock. And in it, the premise of the episode is he does a parody of a song that Jenna does. So Jenna tries to make an unparodable song called Fart So Loud. And he turns it into like a serious, like, uplifting, like patriotic song called Heart So Proud. And Ray Stevens, besides having all these songs like Guitarzan and The Squirrel That Went Berserk and shit like that, he had one like serious hit with Everything Is Beautiful. So I was like, because I kind of felt like, so I asked him, so I kind of felt like on your 30 Rock thing, when you did the Heart So Proud. Actually, I didn't even say it. Your song on there was maybe a dig at Ray Stevens, like his one serious hit. And he didn't admit it. I'm not going to say he admitted it, but there was just a change in his demeanor for a second, and he was like, huh, I've never seen it like that, but I could see how you would get that. And I felt like he was sharing something.
You had a connection.
Yeah.
There you go. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is
But
awesome,
yeah, Weird Al was a super cool dude.
I didn't really go to any of the panels because, unlike you two fucks, someone had to go around and ask people.
You were
questions.
working.
I worked this entire thing. So how were the panels?
Good. No, we went to see Weird Al, and you know what? It's not nearly as cool as hearing Hertz actually talking to Weird Al.
Yeah.
Yep.
We also immediately after that we got to see a bunch of the Disney voice actors with a Disney animator in the background drawing over the top on like a big screen. Oh, jeez. It had Jason Marsden, who's the voice of Max in the Goofy movies and a couple other things. Bill Farmer, who's been the voice of Goofy for fucking 30 years.
Yeah. Yep.
He's also been Foghorn Leghorn and some other famous characters. And then Jim Cummings, who's like a goddamn legend.
Yeah.
And they were really cool. Like I always enjoy the voice actor panels because I think it's because they all have like a pretty good rapport from doing these cons so often. And so they've just kind of gotten their bits down.
Yeah.
Which is just
Right.
you know, it's entertaining for 45 minutes. I don't know if they have any more than that, but they've got a solid 45.
Did Jim Cummings do a Hondo Anaka impression?
Well, I don't know if he did. He might have done the voice.
no.
He was
briefly.
running through a lot of his characters.
Yeah, he did do it, but he did say that was one of his favorite characters that he's
I
ever
love
done.
Hondo. He's so great.
Yeah, I thought Weird Al was very genuine. Like he seemed like a super nice guy, like Kurt was saying, and his panel was cool. You know, with what I noticed with these things is you get a lot of weird questions, but he took them in stride. You know, he answered the stupid ones. Like if someone was like, "Can you sum up your whole career?" You know, it's like just get crazy questions. Then Jim Cummings, they were all nice. Like I don't really like animation; it's not really my thing. But I thought the panel was fun, and I liked them answering in their cartoon voices.
It is really even for somebody who's going into this for the reason that they're the voice actors of the voices that you love, it's very strange when a real life person sounds like Goofy.
Yeah.
It's pretty jarring.
But I think you're right. Friday had a lot of stuff I want. Like I wanted to see Diamond Dallas Page. He's one of the few ones I would have liked.
DDP was there?
Yeah, he was there Friday.
Shit.
I know.
Self high five.
I would have liked him. I would have liked Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. So I don't know. It felt a little lighter than the year before, as far as Saturday, Sunday content panels.
Definitely last year had the Nature Boy, had Ric Flair.
Yep.
That's hard.
And
to beat.
Shatner.
Yeah, it's Shatner.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just seemed. I thought the costumes were probably better, and I think, but as far as content from the convention, it seemed a little lighter to me. But you guys know a lot of that stuff. Maybe it just wasn't my stuff.
I just think it was spread out more throughout the con. Like last year was real Saturday, Sunday heavy. I remember that, but
I just feel like there's less stuff on Saturday specifically.
yeah, Sunday had some good stuff. I wasn't
that's
able to
true.
be there until about noon, and I would have loved to have seen Weird Al or the animators panel. But yeah, Saturday specifically seemed a little bit lighter. There was a huge focus on, it seemed like, things that were going on the floor, and it was slammed.
Oh yeah, the convention center was packed.
Yeah.
Ton of stuff, ton of vendors. That part was definitely super busy.
I know you kind of referenced this, Ian, but what do you guys think was your favorite cosplay you saw all weekend?
Oh, I like that we saw Dr. Doom one. That you
Yeah,
did
that
interview.
Dr. Doom was really good.
It was really good.
There was a guy who did a Godzilla that looked like it was made out of foam, and he was probably 6.5, 7 feet tall. That was really, really impressive. But I don't think he actually could get into the Bay Center because I only saw him standing around outside.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Friday there was an Ahsoka that I swear to God, she was the right height for Ahsoka. It looked like a good live action version of that character. It was really good. I wish I had gotten her name or got to talk to her. She was great.
There were 3 girls that were Rey, Padme, and Leia, which I thought was a pretty cool.
There was a great
group.
Dark Rey.
Oh yeah,
too.
Dark Rey was really good.
I keep seeing people that I would be like, okay, is this cosplay or is this just your life?
Yeah.
There was a group that I happened upon that they looked like, and the best way I can explain it is punk rockers in 80s movies that weren't about punk rock, and their costumes was designed by people who had very little knowledge of punk rock. Say for instance, the guys that Arnold first encounters when he first comes out of the time bubble thing. And so I saw a group of them, and I was like, if that's what these guys are going as, that's a really cool idea. But on the other hand, this just could be their life, or it could be an anime I don't understand.
See, anime is huge presence. Gosh.
I think anime is probably the biggest presence.
I would agree.
Any single medium there, I think.
Yes, definitely.
I thought there was one, it was like a girl who was like a Bowser / like Harley Quinn / like
Bowsette.
Yeah, and it was like a sexy Bowser. I thought that
Bowsette was really popular on the internet about 2 years ago.
Yep.
I will say a funny story. Joseph told me, I didn't know about this during the animation panel, that I guess the guy who voices Max in the Goofy movie voices the main character in Simba 2 or Lion King 2, which is who?
Oh, geez, I can't remember. It's like... It's not
Kova?
Kova. Is it Kova? I think it's something close.
Kova. Kova.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay.
Apparently, there's a strong internet following that thinks that's like a sexy line.
A lot of young women, their first sexual experiences with Kova specifically.
For sure.
Which I had no idea, but apparently that guy gets like a lot of fan mail and like stuff because he was very aware of it when someone asked about it.
I stumbled across a Tumblr page the other day that compared Kova to Kylo Ren, and it's pretty fucking convincing.
I tell you another cosplay misunderstanding I had. At one point, while we were trapped on the floor, we went to the restrooms, and while Sarah was in the restroom, I saw a woman sitting down that I thought, oh wow, she's like got some horror costume because she's got all this blood all over and stuff. But as people started swarming around her and talking,
she was just injured.
She was just bleeding.
Oh yeah, that's intimidating.
And I realized, now I'm not looking at someone's cosplay work. I'm just staring at a person who's injured.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's the next level.
It would be hard to discern, I'll be honest with you, because there are a lot of those costumes.
Right. Yeah.
I remember on Saturday, there was a lot of lost child calls coming over the intercom. I think they were all found. And everything seemed to be working out.
We don't know.
But
we hope so.
There was a lot of that.
There was someone, like me and Susie were driving Sunday, I think. I don't know, we were at breakfast. And there was someone just in full, like, Punisher cosplay, all black, just walking down, like, the highway with, like, it must have been a fake gun. But it looks like I did a double take. I was like, is this an active shooter situation? Like, some of them were, like, very convincing.
Definitely those guys who, like, their cosplay is, I'm just dressed up in tactical gear.
Yes.
That shit freaks me out. I want nothing to do with that shit.
It was very scary.
In 2020, that is not my thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there is some of that for sure.
Don't venture far from the convention center, guys, if you're going to dress like that, because you don't want to run into the wrong cop who's having a bad day.
Particularly, or just the wrong
person.
Dude. Yeah. This is Pensacola, Florida. Most people are armed.
True story.
The cosplay was probably a highlight for me. Again, I didn't get to go to a lot of the panels, but I did get to see a lot of that. Do we want to go to our guest interviews now?
I think this is a good time. So while we were out exploring the actual convention floor and seeing a lot of the great cosplay, we got a few of our pictures on the Instagram with some of the people in their costumes. We actually got to hear from some of the people of Pensacon about what they feel about nerd culture and other things and what they liked about the con. And here those are.
What's your name?
Dylan.
All right. And Dylan, what would you say is your favorite thing about Pensacon so far?
I really like getting to see all the voice actors and stuff downstairs. It's really cool. But
so you're looking forward to the Disney voice actors panel that's going to be going on tomorrow, I think that is, yeah.
It's the first time hearing about it, but I am.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's Jim Cummings, Jason Marsden.
Yeah, the guys from the Goofy movie.
The Goofy movie people.
Right. Yeah, no, I actually got an autograph downstairs for the guy who played Goofy. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good deal. Dylan, thanks for your time, man. Again,
appreciate it, guys.
Go ahead and tell us your name.
It's Amber.
Amber, awesome. Nice to meet you. What would you say is your favorite thing about Pensacon so far?
Just that there's so much to see.
Awesome. What would you say, maybe any panels you've liked so far that you've seen?
I went to one that was the Travis McElroy Q&A. That one was really fun. It was like a mini My Brother and Me episode. It was very, very nice.
Awesome. Sounds good.
We appreciate you talking
thanks
to us.
for your time.
Enjoy the rest of it. Hey, my name's Christian. I'm from Real Phonies. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Steve.
Keith. Mike.
You guys have fantastic Ghostbusters cosplay. I love your proton packs. I mean, looks like you seriously go out and bust some ghosts. Are you guys you excited for Afterlife coming out here in a few moons?
Absolutely, yes.
What are some of your thoughts? What are things are you excited for about it?
That they're actually bringing back some of the original characters.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I'm actually really stoked about.
I've been looking forward to it for a very long time, and I'm going to rock and roll in this costume right up to that movie.
That's awesome. I think the decision to like make the family through Egon is like a really awesome way to honor Harold Ramis and his legacy. Is there? Do you guys have any predictions of where you think it might go? Or I'm sure you've probably been stewing on it a while.
Well, I have a few thoughts about it. One, I think Paul Rudd is going to be the next Keymaster because the Terror Dogs in the first movie only went after somebody for one reason, and that was to possess them. So I believe that's going to happen. I believe that the originals will make an appearance. I just hope it's an epic one.
Yeah, for sure. There's rumor of Rick Moranis coming back for a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You guys think there's any chance he pops up in this?
I think it's possible, but very low. Because he came out specifically for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and did turn down Ghostbusters. Now, there's the possibility they could shoot an after-shoot cameo for him, but I don't see it being very likely.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. It's all good stuff. If you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us who you're cosplaying as.
Yeah, so I'm Holly Boykin. I'm cosplaying as Rey.
Awesome.
Matt Boykin, Kylo Ren.
Awesome. How long have you guys been cosplaying for?
I've only been cosplaying since I met him, but so that's about 4 years now.
A little bit before that. And then once we met, we kind of linked up and did it together.
That's great. So with the Skywalker anthology finally coming to a close, you have any thoughts or feelings you feel like you have to share about Rise of Skywalker?
My only thought is when they ask her what her last name is, I really felt like it should have been Solo. That's just me. That's a fair critique.
I do have a question. What did you think about Rey in The Rise of Skywalker versus Rey in The Last Jedi?
I thought it was a good continuation of her character. I liked you get more answers, of course, in The Rise of Skywalker, so I liked that part. You can always see like the Ben Rey thing kind of building, whether it was romantic or not. There was always some kind of link between them. So I thought that was cool that they closed that off with that. But to me, I think she was a great addition to this whole Star Wars galaxy. I really liked her character.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And one last one. And for you too, with Ben's death at the end there, obviously you're dressed up as Kylo. Did you have any feelings on him not finishing out the movie, dying there before it was over with?
It was kind of appropriate. I think it was that turn to the light at the very end, and he kind of sacrificed himself for, and it was bringing like that oneness to the Force again, and that's what I was okay with. That I enjoyed it. I was just happy that they weren't brother and sister related because me and my wife dress up like that, so it'd be very awkward if we like kiss her, like they'd be like, "Whoa, don't do that." Yeah. But no, so I thought it was a good change, and I know he didn't finish out the movie, but it's kind of how could he, to me, is how can you really finish the movie out with that transition of going from dark to light or from light to dark to light. So I think it was kind of appropriate to be with the Force.
I gotta say, I really wanted to see Han Solo's son fly the Millennium Falcon at one
That would have been cool. The cutscene.
I was a little sad about that part, but we're doing. And so those were people at Pensacon.
Yep.
I don't know any other better way to do that.
Thanks, Joseph.
Yeah. So thanks to everybody who came out and talked to us. I know we're just a bunch of weird nerds in t-shirts, just like all the other weird nerds in t-shirts.
But we were in our own t-shirts.
We were in matching t-shirts.
Well, three of us were in
matching.
Three of us
were in matching t-shirts. One of us was trying to organize a coup.
Correct.
But we had as you've probably already heard, hopefully you've listened to, but we had the pleasure of having our first ever live recording, which was really cool. More people came than I thought there was going to come because I thought that room was going to be empty.
I thought it was really good. I thought we all helped each other out. I will say I felt the most famous I've ever felt. Before we started, we were getting ready to go on, and some volunteer from Pensacon comes up and goes, "How many water bottles do you need?" I'm like, "Oh, you're giving me a water bottle to just talk? Oh, I've hit the big level."
Yeah, actually, at one point, I was walking around, I think Saturday, and some dude was like, "Hey, nice shirt, man." And I want to be like, do you fucking listen to real voters?
No, I was really impressed with this. We had 45 minutes in. We talked about how to fix a Star Wars movie. If you guys haven't listened to it, that's the last episode that we just put out last week. I felt it went pretty well. But we tried to structure it so that we talked for a little bit, but we definitely made time for audience questions. Yeah. We tried to structure it 30 minutes of us talking and then 15 minutes for questions. And we hit it on the dot, 30 seconds even, which I was very impressed. Like, I'm sure that was unintentional. I was very proud of us.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go third intentionally. No offense to you two guys, but you can ramble.
Oh no, totally, absolutely.
And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make up some time here. And then I felt, as soon as I was done talking, I felt really self-conscious about talking too fast. Right. But then I was like, when you told me that I was like, it's fine. Yeah, we hit the goal.
We did great. Care. Yeah.
No. Props to all the people that asked us questions. Sorry to those who didn't get to, because there was still a little bit of a line.
Yeah.
When we got kicked out of the room eventually. But.
Genuinely, some really great suggestions.
Yeah. The best one was someone suggested Admiral Holdo swaps out in episode 8 for Admiral Akbar. And I think that fixes a lot of the issues that I had with episode 8.
Yeah, maybe. The girl had really strong opinions about midi-chlorians. I was really into. Yeah. She did a good job. And a lot of people stayed and talked after, and some of the best stuff came then. But it was real exciting. I had a good time at the con this year. Though I worked and walked a lot.
For sure. But yeah, that was, again, our first live episode, our experience at Pensacon. I don't know if we're going to do more live episodes in the future, but...
I would be down to do it.
I had fun doing it.
We survived one.
Yeah.
We might be able to survive another. Is there anything else we wanted to hit on for Pensacon? You said you saw there were a couple of guests they've announced for next year.
Yeah, a couple of big announcements that came out of Pensacon basically immediately after. Number one is they got a bunch of new investors to kind of come in and give the new kind of vision. And I think some of the issues they had this year, maybe this won't happen in the future because you have a new set of eyes that come in and look at it, which is really cool.
It's the owners of the Great Southern restaurant chain that are very into...
Yep.
Obviously, this affects their business a lot. They are very into the cons themselves, so I think it seems like it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good pairing.
So what you're saying is next year will probably be professional enough that we won't get to come back.
Probably.
Yeah.
That may happen. They did announce some guests. They're doing a Back to the Future reunion where they'll have Harry Waters Jr., who was the guy who holds up the phone and is listens to the sound. Marvin Berry.
Right.
Claudia Wells, who plays Marty's girlfriend. I can't remember her name right now. Donald Fullilove, who is the young version of the mayor. He's the one who's sweeping in the diner.
Right.
Elsa Raven, who's got the can, save the watchtower. And then Jeffrey Weissman, who is young Marty's dad.
Huh.
All right.
And then they announced today, that is not that picture, Johnny Young Bosch, who was the Black Ranger for a while. Not the black guy who was the Black Ranger, but the Asian guy who was the Black Ranger. Also in My Hero Academia, big in voice acting, played Kaneda and Akira. He's in something else. Oh, Trigun. He's the main dude in Trigun. I can't remember this.
A lot of people like that. A lot of people like that My Hero Academia.
Yeah. I think he's only in the movie, the My Hero Academia, but there were a lot of My Hero Academia.
A lot of Midoriya's.
Yeah. That's it. Those are the two big things that have come out so far.
Cool. Well, hang with us for another year. We'll be back at Pensacon next year.
Hopefully.
Maybe
Unless the world ends from the coronavirus.
Maybe that. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we won't have convention. You guys heard they canceled South by Southwest, right?
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was thinking about it during the McGuire's run. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be here.
It's fine. That's what the alcohol's for. It flushes everything out. Well, cool. So that's Pensacon 2020. What have we been watching, guys?
I'll go first. I have hardly watched anything.
You had 2 fucking weeks.
I know. And maybe I just don't remember shit. I shaved my face, but I did that for a purpose. I went to a benefit thing Saturday night, and we were supposed to dress up, and the group of people I went with went as MASH characters. So I watched the first season of MASH again.
Oh, right on.
I love that show.
The first season is great, too, because that's the season where it's the most still a comedy.
Yes, very much so. I went as Colonel Blake. And I had a good time. My wife, as I introduced her to the show, she seemed into it. We probably won't keep watching it. She wasn't that into it. I watched Mewtwo Strikes Back, which is the CGI remake of Pokemon the movie. And you know what? It's okay. I'll give it better than Transformers. It's very much a rehash, so it doesn't add anything new or original, but the CGI is cool, and it's fun to revisit those characters in that story.
It's got to just be a rights thing, right? Like there's no reason to remake this unless the profits are going to a different place.
Yeah, that may be true. I also don't really care for the name Mewtwo Strikes Back. It's very convoluted in that it takes like 15 minutes to get to the title card of this movie, and it's just introduction of Mewtwo and Mewtwo's story and Ash Ketchum and Ash Ketchum story, and now we're at the start of this movie. It takes a long time.
Pokemon the movie might be like the first theater experience that I remember because it was like a thing. Like I waited in line. I got like a
Did you get the Mew card?
Of course I fucking did.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I may be just being overly cynical about this, but fuck those guys for remaking that movie.
And I started Castlevania because the 3rd season came out.
Yep.
It's kind of a bore right now. I'm still in the 1st season. I've watched like one episode like every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I hear it gets better.
It does.
And so I'll stick it out.
Have you watched Castlevania?
I have.
May take me a month to get through the 8 20-minute episodes or whatever.
The 1st season's rough, I think. And I'm scared to go to the 3rd season because I'm afraid it's also going to be rough. But the 2nd season is pretty darn good. So
that's it. That's all I remember anyway.
Cool.
I can go next. I finished Outsider, which was the HBO
yeah. Oh, is that over now?
Yeah, the last one was last night, and it ended okay. I would say that's another one of these shows that should have been like 8. It was 10. It kind of meandered a bit in the middle, but if you're into like, it starts off procedural and then like kind of turns into X-Files, with like a believer and like someone who's like not. It's really cool, and like the villain's cool. This thing called El Cuco. It's like this There's a whole backstory, but
don't spoil it.
Mendo's good, Cynthia Erivo's good. I definitely would recommend it. And I watched I can't remember if we've been a Gentleman. Have I talked about The Gentleman?
I don't think you've talked about The Gentleman.
I watched The Gentleman with McConaughey, Hugh Grant, Henry Wu, ton of famous people. It's an above average Guy Ritchie movie. So
right on.
I really liked it.
I wanted to see that.
Yeah. It's very British caper. Charlie Hunnam, I think, is the best. Like, he's playing like a suave number 2 British enforcer. That's where he should stay.
I agree.
I like him so much more than like Sons of Anarchy, Charlie Hunnam.
He's not a leading man.
Yeah, no, he's a good number 2, like an enforcer. So he's good in it. McConaughey's good, and then Michelle Dockery, who's in Downton Abbey. It's like playing Lady Mary, but now married to a drug dealer. She's awesome in it. And I watched Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss and the guy from House on Hill House. And it's cool in that it's taken from like this guy's like crazy obsessed with Elizabeth Moss and like very domestic violence kind of connotations, and she escapes and they play off that kind of that fear. You know what I mean? And it's a well done movie. I was very impressed with it. It looks good. I mean, I heard it cost like $9 million to make, and man, the CG. I guess when you don't, Invisible Man is kind of easy, but like the effects and how they make it seem like he's there, it's pretty good. So I'd recommend both those. They're definitely better than Transformers. Yeah, and I watched Up with Susie.
Oh, good.
So
you hadn't seen Up?
No, I hadn't seen Up, and Up was incredible.
Yeah,
like they should make a second Up just for that first opening montage. The little kid meeting.
Yeah. I can't do that, man.
Yeah, because that was so sad. But just the whole movie's great.
It's one of the best ones. They've done,
I don't like animated, but I completely.
You always say that, and you have a lot of animated things that you like.
This one though is top tier for sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great
like
film.
Toy Story. Like it's on the Mount Rushmore. I'd probably say of animated movies.
Yeah. There's a good episode of Sunny where they do a riff on Up. It's good times. I think it's called like The Gang Gets Trapped or something. I think it's called The Gang Gets Trapped.
Yep. And the last thing is I finished. Well, we have one more left on Sanditon. It's a PBS Masterpiece show about it's kind of like Melrose Place in the 1800s. This is beach town, and there's all this intrigue and cheating, and it's a Jane Austen. Very well done.
All right.
The lead is the guy from Divergent, Theo James, who is quite charming. So better than Transformers.
All right.
Me and Susie.
Yeah.
So much British television.
Yeah, I know.
And that's it.
Christian and I are the anime experts. You're the British television expert.
Take that.
It's such a weird thing for you to have become an expert.
And then Jason is the 80s soap opera expert.
Well, I was going to ask you guys. I'm only going to do one thing. Do you want comics or do you want soap operas?
Comics.
Okay, comics. Okay, I'm just doing one. So comics. Okay, I figured I'd give an update on the X-Men reboot. That was something I was really on about a few months ago, and I kind of stopped talking about it. But it's still pretty fucking great. A big part of the relaunch of it was this sort of resurrection gimmick that's part of it. And in the beginning, it seems like venue for getting back all these characters who are dead. But it's really turning into that's what the run is about. It's about, of course, them having the mutant island that they've declared a nation and, their dreams finally coming through and what do they do now. But also it's about this, that they can bring back anybody who's died, any mutant who's died from the dead. And the most recent issue, I think it was 7, really did a whole issue about that. It was called The Crucible, and the premise of it was basically like if you're someone who lost your powers because of the Scarlet Witch. It was a whole thing I won't even get into now. By dying and coming back, you can have your powers back, but it can't just be that you want to die. You have to die fighting. And it was a great fucking issue. I highly recommend.
Because is it Apocalypse is the one who takes you out?
You're just a run of the mill mutant who's lost their powers, and you have to face Apocalypse in single combat. It's fucking great, and it's also the other characters, Wolverine, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, all discussing is this right? Should we be doing this?
Because Apocalypse is now with the X-Men,
right?
And Magneto. Everyone's on the same team.
Everybody's on the same team, basically, or everybody so far. Mm-hmm. There's still some people in there who are working against the other ones, but not so far, not in the main title. Mm-hmm. Also, I read the first issue of the new Wolverine title. Fucking dope. Really good. They did 2 stories. The first one was sort of more run-of-the-mill, Wolverine espionage thing. But the second story is basically the beginning of Wolverine versus Dracula. Marvel Dracula is fucking dope. Cannot wait for this shit. Both of them better than Transformers.
Yeah, cool. I read about that. It sounds fucking awesome.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I finished Midsummer.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. That's all there is to say about it. Florence Pugh's in it, and it's fucked up. I've been playing the Jedi Fallen Order game, which is a lot of fun. I mean, look, I turned the combat down to the easiest possible setting because I'm terrible at video games.
Make that known that I wasn't that bad. It was that hard.
It is hard. It is pretty fucking hard. But the story's really fun. Like it's a more I don't know. I guess I feel like sometimes the video games do a better job of expanding the lore than the fucking movies do sometimes, but. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I finally started, the wife and I started My Hero Academia, the season 4, because we thought that we'd be able to take it slow enough that we wouldn't have to wait a week for the last one to come out. But it's the most bingeable fucking show on the planet. So we burned through 20 episodes in 2 days, 2.5 days. It's crazy. It's still really good. I think season 3 is a little bit better. And also, it's something that anime gets criticized for a lot, which is either in fighting anime specifically, you either spend a lot of time thinking or saying out loud to your opponent all of the tactical things, about what he can do and what you can do and what you know that he can do, but he knows that I know that you can do. So there's a lot of that shit, which My Hero doesn't do a lot, but I wish they actually did a little bit more this season, because sometimes there are just weird character decisions that I'm sure are explained in the manga or whatever about how they're using this person's power against this person's power, but it's not as clear to me, and I don't feel like I'm a dumb viewer. I've watched a lot. I've read the fucking X-Men. I haven't read I should watch the X-Men movies. Who am I fucking kidding? I've never read a comic book. But,
so you are stupid.
I get how superpowers work, but even I've been a little, I would like a little more explanation. But otherwise, better than Transformers. And did I watch a movie? Oh yeah, and my Joseph Smarter than you movie of the week. I watched Francis Ha. It's one of Noah Baumbach's first films. The one where he started cheating on his wife with Greta Gerwig, which is not talked about in the movie, but just fun fact. It's okay. It feels a lot like a student film. I feel like he's gotten better over time, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's better than Transformers.
Cool.
So next week, surprise episode. It'll be some kind of topic we're excited to be getting back into the swing of things. So in the meantime, thank you guys for listening, and thank you again to anybody who came out to our live show. Please let us know if you anything that you liked about Pensacon, if you want us to do more live shows, or anything that you're just generally thinking about your life. At realphonies@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at realphonies, on Instagram, real_phonies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. We'll see you guys later.